What's up, Schmoedown fans? Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. I'm Star Wars competitor Andrew Dimalanta.
And I'm Nicki Dimalanta.
A lot to go over this week.
Much.
There's so much to go over this week. Our viewers and listeners are going to get blessed with 2 episodes of Beyond the Schmoedown this week, and most likely next week as well.
I think it's for the best.
Yeah, because we wouldn't give each of these matches, enough coverage or the amount of coverage it needs or the respect that it needs.
Because we don't want to rush through them, and also we try to keep our episodes to where they're like not multiple hours. So
for your viewing and listening pleasure, and for us as well, because
schedules in life.
Yeah,
I can't podcast all day.
But like this week was heated. Like it was a good. Not only the throwdown, but these matches this week were great.
Yeah,
there's some good
and they were
matches.
all playing matches. Mm-hmm. So
they're all this is what's blowing my mind. It's like they're all playing matches, and we got some really good matches, and one in particular. I was just like, this is
moment,
why
jaw on the floor.
Yeah, this is why I love the Schmoedown. This moment was like, this is absolutely why I watch the Schmoedown, no matter what format it's in. Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and get into those when we get to them.
Yes. So the first one that I have here is Adam the Coyote Collins versus Andres the Ghost, and I'm gonna say Gallego. I don't know. They said Gallego. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's Gallego. I mean, because
I would like to guess.
Spanish 2 L's is.
Yeah.
Am I right?
You're right. 2 L's is like a Y. So I would like to guess that it's Gallego, but whatever.
Cultured.
I've been wrong before, and I might be wrong now.
I know Spanish letters. I'm cultured.
So I'm gonna call him the Ghost.
The Ghost. Just call him Ghost.
Ghost. So Adam the Coyote Collins is corruption, and the Ghost is from the dungeon. So,
well, who's that from? I'm sorry, I don't mean to go on that tangent.
That's from a stand-up.
Nick Kroll?
No. Oh, yes, actually, yes. I was thinking of something else, but that too, yeah. So, round 1, the Ghost missed the first 2 questions, had a little bit of a stumble with the first 2 questions, but that's okay. He got the rest right.
Yeah.
Collins, on the other hand, he got a perfect round, and he got the bonus.
Yeah.
So, by the end of round 1, 6-9 in favor of Collins and corruption.
Looking really good.
Round 2. Collins goes first. He gets release dates. Mm-hmm. He goes to multiple choice twice. Mm-hmm. Got one, missed one, and that one did get stolen. So,
Yeah.
It happens. Mm-hmm. The Ghost. He got Inner Geekdom, which was an interesting choice.
And that was his first spin, right?
I don't remember if it was his first spin, but I think he's the first person to get that slice. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, you can see what those questions are like depth-wise.
Yeah, and I don't think we've given our thoughts on this Inner Geekdom slice before, because at the beginning of the season, it was because this was the whole thing of contention with Brendan Meyer and Dan, saying Dan put Middle Earth on the wheel, and I think Brandon's like, wait, whoa, we can put Inner Geekdom slices on the wheel now? And I think it was such a huge contention that they somewhere down in the middle of the season, like, all right, we're just going to lump everything into Inner Geekdom. Which I was never a really huge fan of. I mean, I
don't mind being able to put individual Inner Geekdom slices because, like it or not, I mean, movies that fall in the singles division are not necessarily going to fall in. Wait, where am I going with this? So
I think
you're not going to have singles movies necessarily
in the specialized divisions.
You're not going to have all of your singles movies also fall under Inner Geekdom, but all of your Inner Geekdom categories can and could fall under singles, if that made I think that
because
made
the
sense.
argument is they're still movies.
They're still movies.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know, I guess maybe the argument is it's too specialized, But isn't
Star Wars is
David Fincher, isn't that pretty specialized too? Well, I don't think you should be able to put. I'm an Inner Geekdom player that's going into singles. I don't think you should be able to put, Nora Ephron on there. But you should only be able to put a director slice, because having that one, that's too you special. If you know Nora Ephron, that's not fair to me. That's too specialized. That's the same logic
argument
in my brain.
Yeah.
And if it all falls under the umbrella, then should we not be able to use our strengths?
Exactly.
If you have a strength, go with it. I mean, you got Deep 13. They like Festival Darlings.
Yeah.
And that's probably pretty
Yeah,
pointed.
And people have already been arguing, especially when the point system came out for the tournament. They're like, well, why are we changing things again, quote unquote, changing things mid-season? This one was sort of a change-ish thing in the middle of the season, but I don't think it was, I don't know. They just didn't have a problem with it, but
it's not really a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
I just think it's an interesting move because they all do fall under the category of movies. And, you know, if you're able to have slices about individual actors and actresses and directors, and that's specialized, then if that's the case,
you should be able to put MCU.
Then you shouldn't be able to just put a certain director. It should just be a director slice. It should just be an actress and actresses slice. Same logic. In my mind, I don't know. It's not a big deal. It's just something fun to talk about. Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, but this was the first time anybody's ever landed on the Inner Geekdom slice, and it was his first spin, correct?
I don't know.
I think it was his first spin. He's like, you know, I'm good with it. Let's roll with it. And I think this ended up backfiring on him because
it didn't work well.
Yeah,
because he went to multiple choice 3 times, and all 3 of them got stolen, according to my notes.
Yeah.
So it didn't really pan out the way that he probably wanted. Yeah. So by the end of round 2, 9-17 in favor of Collins and Corruption. Round 3.
Oh yeah.
A 2-pointer for the Ghost. New releases. Who plays Jimmy Hoffa in The Irishman? It was Al Pacino. He got it.
He took a repeat for this one too, right? I think he was just overthinking it.
Okay.
And he was just like, yeah, this seemed, because sometimes because 2-pointers are obviously obvious answers. Usually. And I think he was just like, what? And he repeated it. And it's like,
guessing.
Yeah. I guess he was just second guessing himself because it's a 2-pointer and it's a very recent film. So
yeah. And then his 3-pointer was Thriller. Liam Neeson awakens from a car accident and someone stole his identity in one film. He missed it. TKO. So 11-17 in favor of Collins in a TKO.
Big 3
TKO
points
for Corruption.
3 points for Corruption.
Yes.
And and we should have mentioned this at the beginning of talking about this match. These are 2 rookies.
Oh yeah, debut match
for
both.
And one of them is a fan leaguer, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the Coyotes, a fan leaguer.
Okay.
And again, we couldn't really talk too much beforehand because I've never seen these 2. Not much to talk about because but being fan leaguers, you have this air about you, or at the very least we have some tape,
some kind of
tape on you. But it's hard to find. Not hard. We could go deep dive into these fan leaguers. All right, let's find their matches on fan leagues. It's like, who's got the time? I mean, if I was going up against this fan leaguer, bet your buns I'd be going back and studying your buns, family friendly on Beyond the Schmoedown.
Buns. Yeah.
But yeah, 2 fan leaguers, or at least one fan leaguer, 2 rookies that we didn't know much about. But after this match, I mean, Collins looks good.
Yeah. His debut match went well.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty solid.
And he wasn't a drafted player. He was a signed player when free agency came up. So that's a good move and good get by Shannon.
Oh yeah.
Doing her research and finding people that weren't drafted and there's some fan leaguers that are been talked about that are out there in free agency. Let me pick one up because Corruption wasn't doing too well at that point.
Not at that point.
Yeah, because and we'll get into another match with another Corruption player that now, because before it was just it's Chance and Mike carrying.
Yeah.
I mean, Laura Kelly did get a win in the Star Wars division, but it was pretty much just Chance and Mike.
She got a win. And Chance and Mike have done a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah. So, but now we there's another competitor that can pick up some steam, pick up some points for Corruption. So it is good for Corruption.
Yeah.
Not good for us, but good for Corruption.
Well, still time left.
Yeah.
So next match is Frank Bam Bam Moran.
Interesting
I'd like to
name.
know the story behind that name. Interesting. And then James the Wizard White. Frank Moran is from Swag, and James White is from the Den.
A lot of eyes on this match.
A lot of eyes on this match. A lot of buzz around James White coming into this.
It's a playing Frank Moran.
I feel like I've heard that name before.
He played in a free for all. So he's debuted in a free for all, but I guess he's been sitting in the wings waiting for the right time to come into the league, and he did well. He did very well, and so. But James White.
Let's not give it away, but I mean, hopefully you've watched already, so you probably know what happened.
James White with a lot of hype in here, and if he doesn't perform in this match, then it's whoops.
Yeah, it just kind of fizzle.
Yeah, and especially since he was drafted by this in the second round, first pick for Burnett in the second round. Then he gets traded away in that infamous Hannah trade, and he gets put into the tournament over, and I would say over Ben Goddard, because if James White isn't in this spot or on the team, Ben Goddard gets put in that spot.
Probably.
And they probably don't get a play-in either. They get an actual round 1 match, I would argue.
Yeah, I don't think Ben would have played in.
I don't think so. Like, play-in 2 tournaments, that would be crazy, because he's already got enough wins.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of eyes on this match for White to perform. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Round 1. Frank. He missed his first question. It was about the Three Musketeers.
Yeah, that's tough.
But he absolutely recovered.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think he missed for the rest. Oh no, I'm wrong.
He missed a couple more.
He missed the question about the Three Musketeers, and he missed a horror question about the nun. They both put La Llorona.
And it's like, the other one.
The other one about the nun.
He was going back and forth between the two.
The other evil nun.
Yeah.
And then James missed the question about a director, Judge Dredd, Anastasia. Anastasia makes me think of Archer. Anastasia. And then he missed the horror question. So James missed, I think 4, if I just counted correct.
Yeah.
By the end of round 1, it was 4-6 in favor of Frank Bam Bam Moran.
Yeah.
Round 2, Frank decides to go first. He gets Francis McDormand. McDermott?
I've heard it both ways.
I don't know.
Pronunciation.
That sounds pretty specialized to me.
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is. I don't know. So he went to multiple choice 3 times, got 2 of them, and missed 1, and that one was stolen.
Yeah.
Then James goes. He gets Nora Ephron. Multiple choice twice, got 1, missed 1, and it was stolen. And then he had a big old 2-point miss.
Oh, yeah.
That got stolen.
I'm sorry. Every time Nora Ephron comes up, I think of Brooklyn Nine-Nine with, God, what's his name? The guy that plays Rafi.
Jason Mantzoukas.
Yeah, but what's his character's name in Brooklyn? It's killing me. It's so
Adrian.
Adrian.
Adrian Pimento.
Yeah, that's also Nora Ephron. Kill yourself.
Oh my God. Yep. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It probably wasn't a great example, but Brooklyn Nine-Nine's hilarious. This is probably like the second time we referenced it.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised it's only the second time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
So, at the end of round 2, 8-13.
Yeah.
8-13 in favor of Frank Moran.
James White is not looking good at this point.
Yeah, at this point, it's like, oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
Oh, no, James.
Yeah.
So, round 3. James goes, obviously, his 2-pointer. He got sports. He got a movie about Jake Gyllenhaal being a boxer, and it was Southpaw. He got it.
Still haven't seen it.
3-pointer about Denzel Washington. Remember the Titans. If you are in teams
or in singles,
and you haven't watched Remember the Titans, I don't know what you're doing with your time.
You better watch that film at least 3 times if you're competing in the singles or teams division, because
if sports comes up, or
remember the Titans,
maybe Denzel.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good chance that you're gonna.
Or I don't want to give anything away, so I'm not gonna.
Do your research.
do your own research, people.
Do your own studying. So yeah, watch Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
Anyways, and some actor from Remember the Titans, and he got it. So and then it bounces back now to Frank, 2-pointer. He gets Coming of Age, something about American Graffiti. He got it right.
That was an easy question. Jesus, 2-pointer. Sorry.
Never seen it.
I've seen it once. American Graffiti. Seen it once. I haven't gotten back to it. Yeah.
So James, it goes back to James for his 5-pointer. He gets Animated, and oh my God, this moment.
This is the one I was talking about.
So he got, basically who was the voice of Sally in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Okay. So he hears it. He has all 3 JTEs. He almost used one in like round 1 or whatever.
Yes,
but
I was hoping you would bring this up.
Yeah, he didn't make it in time, which I don't know. Maybe it was a blessing.
Yeah.
I think there was 2 good things about it.
Yeah.
It was probably good that he just had all 3 of them in his pocket for this question. And also, I think it was kind of not good luck, it just good fortune for him.
Yeah.
That he learned a hard lesson in the first round of, hey man, if you want to do a repeat, you got to make sure you get it in before the clock runs out.
At 3, especially in digital matches with flag.
You never know.
And latency, so it's like always like at the very least when it hits 3, repeat the question
Yeah.
because you never know.
So that might have helped him be like, okay, I need to really be on top of really paying attention to the count. So, he had all 3. He used all 3 to the last second.
All 15 seconds
Oh my
of
God.
each repeat.
Down to the last second. Andrew and I were watching it. We're like, oh no.
And the first time he hears it, he's like rubbing his eyes, and you know that look on competitors.
The classic look of I don't know.
The classic look of defeat, just like, oh my God, are you
Yeah.
kidding me? It's one of those, not like I don't completely, it's not one of those looks where I have no idea what it is. It's, I know the answer.
Yeah.
It's just right there.
I just can't.
I just
see
need
it.
I need to get it from here to here.
Yeah.
It needs to come out of my mouth. And it's just like, oh no, he doesn't know it. No.
It was terrible because
It
we were
was-
like, oh, it's this. All right, so it's a TKO, huh?
it's-
Well, no, it wouldn't have been a TKO, but
Yeah.
all right, it's a loss here for White.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I was like, oh my God, it's such a deflating feeling when that
Yeah.
happens.
But
Yeah.
at like literally the last second, he says Catherine O'Hara, and he got it
He
right.
got it right. And
he was saying afterward that her name was probably like the first thing that popped into his
he
head.
just wanted to be sure.
Exactly. He was probably just like flipping through everything, checking and double checking himself. I'm really glad that he didn't just go, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he threw it out at least.
And I said this, and I said that this, like, so there's a match that's coming up that people are saying that, oh man, gets me re-energized for the Schmoedown. This is why we watch the show. Moments like this and matches like this are why I love the Schmoedown.
That was an amazing moment.
And moments like this get me re-energized to watch the rest of the tournament because
Yeah.
this is a pro move by James White. This is a pro move. Like in the next match that we're gonna watch, we'll talk about it. But like this, it's so easy to get caught up in the moment. Like, oh, jeez, I don't know. Repeat the question, and just like sit there like, well, repeat the question.
Beating yourself up,
and then throw out an answer that's not right.
Yeah.
Again, he the first thing that comes into his head, maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. He recognizes he has all 3 of his repeats. Not only does he use all 3 of his repeats, he uses 100% of his time to make sure he has the correct answer.
Yes.
And it's great. It's great viewership. It's great drama. And it's just great gameplay.
Yeah.
And because when that answer came out, and Christian, because you looked up the answer when he was like, "Oh no," and you looked
Yeah.
up on your phone, it's like, "Oh, it's
Catherine O'Hara."
Catherine O'Hara. It's like, "Oh, it's Catherine O'Hara."
Usually when it's like this kind of a nail biter type situation, it's
Yeah.
the last question, and I know that they're going to burn all 3 JTEs. I'll bust out my phone because I want to be like, I need to know, because sometimes the announcer will be like,
Yeah.
the correct. It's like, no, I need to know.
Yeah, so we knew the answer before, and we're just like, he doesn't know it. And then he says
When
the
he
name.
said it, we both
We're
like screamed.
Oh, that's awesome! And
It was
like,
amazing.
It was an amazing moment. That should be on the Clips channel because
Oh,
this is
man.
this is a pro move. And I think with this question, because sometimes when fan leaders come up, it's like it all, and like when they have their first win, it's really like, all right, who do they play against? How do they win? How many points did they win by? You know, how many like things did they miss? This entire match says to me that James White absolutely belongs in the league.
Yeah.
Because not a great first round, had a couple steals in the second. Easily, you can just beat yourself up. It's like, yeah, I guess I'm losing my first match. You know,
Yeah.
that's how it is
Doesn't
for
matter the
rookies. Doesn't matter,
tournament.
whatever. But the just the pure fact that James White is able to, it's like, no, I'm gonna get this 5-pointer because you never know what can happen. You never know what happens. We say it all the time. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day. Anything can happen in the Schmoedown, and this match completely proves it.
Yeah.
And it just speaks volumes about James White's gameplay to like not give up in that situation and just just use everything at your disposal to make sure that you get the right answer.
Yeah.
So
And we're talking about it like he just won. He
Yeah.
didn't. The fact
Yeah.
that he did that and pulled that out, because like you said, he could have beaten himself up. He could have just kind of given up. I just haven't had the best game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of second guessing myself. And plus, he still has his 3 and his 5-pointer, so he's
Yeah.
probably going to win anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but he didn't let that get to him. He absolutely stayed right in the moment, stayed focused, and it worked out.
Yeah, take care of you first, and then see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now put the ball in his court and see what he does with it.
Put the ball in his court and see if he can win the match.
Yeah.
So
And I also looked it up because once I saw the name, I was like, oh, that name sounds really familiar. And I looked her up. I'm like, oh, that's Kevin's mom from Home Alone. She thought she left the stove on, but really she just left her kid at home. Oh, Catherine, crazy. So yeah, he gets that 5-pointer. Amazing.
it was an amazing moment.
So now it's back to Frank for his 3-pointer. He gets Oscars. Movies, he had to like name 2 movies that Jennifer Lawrence was
Nominated for an Oscar.
Nominated for Oscars.
Couldn't pull it.
Oscar noms. And he wasn't able to pull it. He missed it. I don't remember what the answers were.
Yeah.
And then his 5-pointer, Disney.
Yeah.
He got, what is the name, in The Princess and the Frog, what is the name of Tiana's restaurant at the end of the film?
Yeah.
And it's one of those answers we were talking. I looked this one up too because I think he had a couple of JTEs left.
He had like 2, I think.
I think he had 2.
Yeah.
So I definitely like Googled it real quick because I'm like, I need to know once he says it. I need to know if he has it or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was Tiana's Palace, and it's one of those ones that it's like, oh my god, it's not like it was even something that weird or like out of the blue. It's like,
yeah,
she's a princess. Her name's Tiana. Maybe I'll name it Tiana's Palace.
Yeah,
but it's not, you know, it's easy to say that in retrospect.
And it's sitting from the couch at home. And,
exactly. But when you're in that moment, you're like, oh no, what is it?
God.
But then to see the answer or to even hear the answer, it's like, oh my God, that was it? You know?
Yeah, and he said something like Cajun Kitchen or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. And
which is, I like the alliteration.
Yeah, and it's a good guess.
Yeah.
It's a fair
an
guess.
Educated guess.
Yeah.
But he missed. So it was 15-18 in favor of James White.
Escapes. He escapes with the win. And like I said, like that 5-pointer that James White pulled was pro move because
amazing.
You never know what might happen because, like you said, you could easily just like give up. Like he's gonna get his 3 hours 5.
His 5. It's not gonna matter.
Yeah.
But
especially the way that Moran was playing the rest of the match, it was like he was on fire and he just couldn't pull his 3 and his 5. It happens sometimes.
Yeah. Because what did I kind of already deleted it. What did I say? It was 15-18 or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it would be real easy to be like, oh, well, all he has to do is get one of these right, and either we're in sudden death or he wins.
Yeah.
You know, it would be just really easy to give up at that point. But I really respect the fact that he didn't. And I respect, you know, both competitors for giving it their all.
Yeah. And it's just... Yeah, it's unfortunate that Moran just couldn't pull his 3 and his 5 even after like basically outplaying White the entire match.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But we'll see what White has to offer because you know he obviously knows what he's doing.
Yeah, rough go around the first time.
Yeah. And you know what, your debut match. It happens.
It happens, yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe he tightens up his game in the next one. And the one thing about singles and teams is, especially singles, it's hard to improve from match to match because again, the subject matter is like movies,
so expansive.
Rather than like it's a little easier to improve between IG and Star Wars between match to match because it's the movie pool is smaller and you can research and study easily. Again, here in my air quotes. But like singles, it's like, oh, how do you even begin to tighten
every
up?
movie ever?
Yeah. So we'll see how he performs. Maybe it was just nerves that got to him and just things that just fell out of his head when he's like, oh god. Because I think some of those questions he's just like, oh god, yeah, it was that one.
Because we've seen almost every player in this league have a bad day.
Yeah.
Even the best of the best. So who knows? Maybe on his debut, maybe it was just a bad day.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe his next match, he's going to come out, you know, swinging.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So who knows? But I'm excited to see it.
It was a good match. And again, this is the kind of match that you go through. It had everything that I liked about the Schmoedown, like the drama, the comeback. The comeback was pretty much why I liked this match so much, and it got me re-energized.
Yeah, that's going to be a definite. If you haven't seen the Clips channel on YouTube, you should check it out because it's a lot of fun. A lot of moments that I had like forgotten about, or I'm like, I totally. I don't even remember what happened in that moment, so I go back and watch it.
The one thing that I remember from that channel is when Ken Napzok was like, "Oh, he gave away the answer." He's like,
"Yeah."
Literally could have said anything else.
Yep, I forget. It was like a horror question.
It was the Conjuring franchise.
Conjuring,
It's like, oh, no, yeah, the Conjuring. Goes, luckily they are written their answers down. But
yeah, that was a fantastic moment.
That was good.
Ken is a treasure.
Yeah.
So our last match.
Last match of the night. Yeah.
Last match is Bonnie, the Smoke Show Somerville of the Droogs. Speaking of Ken, versus Lady Justice Marisol McKee of Corruption. First of all, I, as do many other Schmoedown fans, would like to know where the name Lady Justice comes from. Is she a lawyer?
I'm pretty sure she's a lawyer.
Because I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
And she's another rookie. Is she a fan league? It's hard to keep track of who are fan leaguers.
I can't keep track. I don't know.
It seems like everybody's fan leaguers at this point. It's like, we picked him up from the fan leagues. I mean, that's the way it really should be, I think, because fan leagues should be the minor
almost like
leagues.
tryouts.
Yeah,
Well,
but-
I don't mean to say that to disrespect any, I don't mean it to come off like that.
Yeah.
But, if you're talking like JV and varsity,
Schmoedown's
it's
the big
kind
time.
of, I mean, it's the big show. It's
it's
the big dance or the dance, whatever Christian calls it for people.
Yeah.
It's the big time.
Yeah.
So, it's almost kind of like, the fan leagues are what you do to get in kind of thing, maybe. I don't know.
We've gotten stars out of the fan leagues.
Oh, yeah.
Chance Ellison, Paul Oyama, Kevin Smets.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 3 fantastic players, champions, that came from the fan leagues.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no shade on fan leaguers at all. It's
No,
just
not
like,
at all.
everybody has a different end to the Schmoedown. Some people came from the fan leagues. Some people were coworkers, friends of Christian Harloff. Some auditioned to get in. So it's no skin off of how you get to the Schmoedown. It's just, you got to prove your worth somehow.
Yeah.
So.
But I think that being in a fan league, it's good.
Oh yeah,
because,
I would rather.
You really get to test yourself in that type of pressurized environment.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And to that argument, I would rather see a lot of competitors come from the fan leagues because a lot of the fan leagues are structured almost exactly like the Schmoedown.
Yeah.
And as we will get into this match, I'd rather see competitors come in, especially now, that know how to play the game and don't have to you don't have to be coached up that well. It's just, you know what I mean? You get more superstars that way.
Yeah.
And as we'll see with this match, it's just,
Yeah.
I mean,
this was a match.
this match was frustrating to watch for me. And
in all
it's just-
honesty,
yeah.
it was frustrating to watch.
It was frustrating, and I know there's a lot of people out there and again, if you enjoyed this match,
good for you.
Good for you. I mean,
I'm happy for you. That's what this is all about. I'm happy that you enjoyed it. But if we're just giving our honest opinions,
I was
frustrated watching this
it's
match. So round 1, Bonnie. She missed the question about Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean, and The Lion King with Pride Rock. Marisol got a perfect round. She did miss the bonus question, however. So by the end of round 1, it was 5-8 in favor of Marisol. Round 2, Marisol decides to go first. She gets 2,000s.
Yeah.
She goes to multiple choice, missed one, got it stolen. It was about Anthony Mackie's character's rap name,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Papa Doc,
Yeah.
in 8 Mile.
Yeah, no, it was stolen.
And Bonnie stole it. And then she went to multiple choice again and got that one. Bonnie goes. She spins twice, and she gets Meryl Streep.
She first lands on.
Tim Burton, I want to say.
Yeah. She lands on Tim Burton, spins away from it because, Tim Burton's got a weird filmography.
Yeah. So she ends up on Meryl Streep, and she, it was rough. I know that she was nervous and everything. She seemed to not remember multiple choice, Yeah. Because she had 2 misses, and there were 2 2-point misses, and both got stolen.
Big steals. Big
Huge
steals.
4 points were just not handed to Marisol.
Yeah.
Because she still had to get them right and know the answers.
They're just offered up.
Yeah, they were just kind of, hey, if you want them,
Here they are.
You know it. Go ahead and
Pretty
take
sure
them.
you know them.
Pretty sure you're going to know them because you've been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So, two big 2-point misses, both stolen.
Yeah.
So by the end of round 2, it was 10-17 in favor of Marisol. Round 3, Bonnie goes first with her 2-pointer. She gets Crime, a Bronx Tale, something about Robert De Niro and a Bronx Tale. She got it right. 3-point for Bonnie. She gets Spielberg. The setting for the climactic scene in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, missed it.
Yeah.
So now she gets her 5. This was an interesting
point of controversy, I think, in this question too, or the answer, I should say.
Because a lot of people were going back and forth about it and saying a lot of stuff about it. Disney, the name of the king who is Prince Philip's father in Sleeping Beauty. So what had happened here?
So what happened was
she's thinking it was really rough for her to remember how to ask for a repeat for some reason. So she repeated it a time or two. Once. She only had one JT.
Yeah, she had one JT.
So she repeated it, and it was an interesting way that she answered because she said Stephen Hubert.
Yeah.
To somebody like me, I didn't know the answer at all.
Yeah.
Not even an inkling. Don't remember. I don't even know if I've seen Sleeping Beauty, if I'm to be honest with myself. Maybe.
You've had to.
Maybe
at some point. Just it's been a very
long time ago. Single-digit ages where I barely remember much of anything.
Trying not to poop your pants.
Yeah, just try not to poop yourself most of the time.
See if you can walk straight.
So, for someone like me, it did kind of sound like she was saying Stephen Hubert.
Yeah.
as a name.
Yeah.
But to somebody who knows, oh, actually, there's one character named King Stefan.
Yeah.
And one character named King Hubert. I didn't know that. So obviously she was familiar enough with the movie that she knew those two names.
Mm-hmm. And just ping-ponging
and
back
she was
and forth.
ping-ponging, like, is it Stephen? Is it Hubert? Is it Stephen? Hubert. And that's what she landed on at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if people that are arguing that she said Stephen Hubert as her answer.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe they're kind of like me and they didn't realize and they thought she was saying a first and a last name.
Yeah.
Instead of two different names and just going back and forth. Now that I know that there's two characters, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I can see that she was just kind of, which one is it? This one, no, that one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think a big point of contention for this is like people are arguing like there should be a final answer type of thing with competitors, especially now with the teams that they actually do have to get final answers.
Some of them have already been doing that.
Yeah.
Just I know Paul Oyama was doing it a lot with Lon.
Well, that's because it's the team's match, and they have to give final answers when
they have to say that?
have to say
Oh,
final
never
answers
mind.
because
I
when
missed
you're debating, when you're like conferring with your teammate, you're
True.
like, oh, is it George Lucas or
True.
is it
True.
Steven Spielberg?
Yeah, so you don't have to do that in singles.
Yeah. And a lot of people are referencing the Chandru match when he said whatever the answer was.
Ariana
or something like that. And the point, and I think the point that has to be brought up is that he said one answer, waited like at least 2 seconds, like, oh wait, no, this, like, well, you already submitted an answer. With this, she's ping-ponging with Stephen Hubert, Hubert, and that's the last thing she said.
Yeah.
And there's no real pause in between the answers, and the last thing she said is her answer.
Yeah.
So I think that's what everybody's getting hung up on.
Yeah. It was messy. There's no doubt about that.
Oh,
it kind of hurt to watch. Yes. But that was last she actually like yelled Hubert.
Yeah. And she got it right. And
that was where she landed.
Yeah.
So, it is, but she got it. I don't know.
And she was very excited that she got it. And
she was super excited.
And I think that's where a lot of people are like, oh man, I love this match because of the passion. I'm like, I don't fault you for liking that. It's just for me, and we'll get into it after we finish the matchup.
Yeah.
But,
so she got it. So then it goes back. So she avoids the TKO. So
which
now
is
it goes.
Good for us.
Well, it's good for people that are going against corruption.
Yeah.
So Marisol goes. She gets a 2-pointer, and it's new releases. What is the subtitle to the third John Wick film? And it was Parabellum, and she got it.
Yeah.
So at the very end, it was 17-19 in favor of Marisol and corruption.
Yeah. So looking at this match, Marisol played I think this is like a tale of two competitors.
Yeah.
Marisol obviously has the knowledge, and she clearly knows how to play the game because even with simple answers, she took her time with every single answer, and she played a really solid game, both knowledge-wise and gameplay-wise, and she clearly knew how to play the game right. Then on the flip side of that, you have Bonnie, and it just didn't. This is her third match.
This is her fourth match.
Fourth match, right?
I thought that she was 0-3 going into this.
Yeah, that's right. It is her fourth match. Yeah, because she had one in like the very beginnings of the Schmoedown, one against Janine the Machine, a loss against Brett, and now this one.
Brett.
So, and we Phil mentioned the storylines and the drama behind this match is that Bonnie was on corruption at the beginning of the season, lost to Brett, and then got traded.
Yeah.
And now she to the Droogs.
Yeah.
And now she goes up against a former teammate in Marisol. So it's just like it was frustrating for me to watch because of the lack of knowledge of how to play the game. And it's just because like it's not only that she forgot how to do multiple choice, like I think she completely forgot multiple choice. It's not only that she knew she had repeats, she'd use in the first 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's like use all of your time.
Yeah.
And it's just, she was so like all over the place and so like
people love to use the term chaotic energy right now. That's a hot term on the social media, and this was a very good example of that.
Yeah. And it's just it seemed like the flip side of the coin of Marisol's game.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like
cool as a little cutie cucumber.
Mm-hmm. And then just Bonnie's over here like, oh, I know the answer, and she gets really,
the pool
really
guy's here.
And she's clearly nervous. I mean, who wouldn't be nervous during a tournament match?
I mean, I know I would.
And it's just like she gets frazzled really quick, and she's 2 seconds after the question gets asked, do I have a repeat? And it seemed to me that Christian and Mark were getting a little fed up with with her at some points, and it was kind of like it's like I have no idea what you're saying. Like, are you using it or not?
Yeah. Yeah, there was at one point where he was like, are you using a repeat or not?
Yeah.
And she was kind of like, oh, well, and then time ran out. She goes, no, yeah, I want to use it. It's like, oh,
it's like your
why
time,
did you say it?
Your time ran out. So it was like nails, like you put it, was like nails on a chalkboard, just like, oh, you should know the game after this is your 4th match.
Yeah.
And you're writing down your answer in the second round. And Christian's like, you don't have to write it, just say it. And even in the first round, she just writes it and puts it to the cameras like, you have to say your answer too, Bonnie.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, geez.
Oh, Bonnie.
Wow, Bonnie. And this is so curious because on the Droogs, they have, bring up the...
Oh, so yeah, we were looking at the roster because we were like, oh, just for fun.
But
I wonder who else.
So in the tournament, the Droogs have... so they had Bonnie, obviously, because we just watched her match.
Let's see. What does the Droogs thing look like?
It's a hat.
Whitney
Whitney Seibold,
Alonso Duralde,
mm-hmm.
Jada Paramo, Bonnie Somerville.
So Whitney and Alonso, no brainers. Put them in. They're your top. They're your top 2 contenders. Jada Paramo, he has a win under his belt.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think he had a respectable showing.
I think so.
And he's came from Florida boy, man. So
yeah, represent.
So give him a chance to prove that he that he can get you some points. But Bonnie is the unusual pick for me because on the Droogs you have JTE,
Scott Mans,
and
Warfather.
And then Warfather, he's kind of hot and cold sometimes.
Yeah.
But you have 2 proven commodities in JTE, former team's champion, and Scott Mans.
Both. It's been a while. You could argue, ring rust, but it's still Scott Mans and JTE.
Yeah. So this is a curious play. It's like, did you want to put Bonnie here just to give her a chance? It's like, and she did better. I will give her that.
She certainly did.
She did better than she did in the past couple matches. And she says, yeah, I studied, I watched movies for this, but this match for me, for Bonnie's play, is a clear showing to future competitors that want to come to the league. You don't just have to I know movies. I watch movies. I know actors and directors. You can't just stroll into the Schmoedown and I'm going to play.
Yeah.
You need to know the game now. You have to understand use all your JTEs. Don't forget you have multiple choice. Use your entire 15 to make sure you have the what James White did in the match that we just talked about.
Yeah.
Using every opportunity you have to make sure you have the correct answer. And what Marisol did in this match, she knew answers like that, but took at least 5 seconds to go.
Yeah.
This is the answer.
Yeah.
And you can't do that anymore.
Speed a lot of the times impresses fans. Wow, he knew that without even flinching.
Yeah.
But just because you take a while doesn't mean that, oh man, it took me that long to conjure the answer.
Yeah.
It's just I just want to double check myself and make sure I'm not jumping the gun because that's bitten a lot of people in their little booties before.
Yeah.
So, I really respect people that take their time.
Yeah, and it did end up biting Bonnie because it was in her second round. She jumped the gun on an answer and is like, nope, that's not it. It's like, what?
Oh, yeah, it was Kramer versus Kramer.
Yeah.
But it was actually something else that wasn't Kramer.
It was
something obviously Meryl Streep because that was what she spun. But
it was an
Oscar nom question.
Yeah,
her first one,
her first Oscar win, and she jumped the gun, and it ended up being wrong. So it's like you need to understand how to play the game. Knowledge isn't enough anymore.
Yeah.
So I would argue that it was just a curious pick. JTE will get you at least 1 to 2 wins. Mance will at least get you 1 win. So it was very and I know that Ken Knapsack is the manager here, but how much managing is he really doing?
Yeah. And then, you always have to think, behind the curtain and everything. Maybe JTE and Mance, maybe they weren't available.
Maybe it was a scheduling thing.
Yeah. Maybe they couldn't commit. What if they did keep winning? And what if they couldn't make that time commitment? And, if you keep on winning, you might have to end up playing X amount of matches, and maybe they just couldn't commit to that. Who knows? Maybe they could. Maybe they couldn't. I don't know. And I don't talk to them.
And it's weird now, too, because now that they're not in the tournament, they're on your team and just taking up because you can't drop them anymore. And the trade deadline is already passed. It was that was at the beginning of the month, I think.
I forgot that there was a footrest under here. That's very nice.
You don't want to see the rest of this room.
No, you don't. It makes me itch.
Just make sure everything else is on camera is nice and clean, even though I need to dust this shelf a bit. But anyways,
everything off camera looks like it was hit by a big film producer bomb.
Sorry, I gotta clean this room. But in the case, where was I? You just completely.
No, you're talking about like JTE
Yeah.
and Manson not being available. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't.
But like, in the case of JTE, I hear like apparently he doesn't live in LA or California anymore, and this is or no. So you have the tournament, and if you're not putting JTE or Mance in the tournament, and obviously Deep 13 is going into the teams tournament. Now we're not going to see JT or Mance. Why would we sign them and draft them to begin with?
I see. Yeah, that is what you're saying.
And trade for them.
Yeah.
So like why do is like the Drugs just a dumping ground for people that aren't going to play right now? So it's very very peculiar. It's like why not put guaranteed points on the board with these high profile players and just gamble on someone. It's like I want to play.
Yeah.
It's like well.
And
there's always next season,
I think
Bonnie.
people would have really gotten excited to see JTE
Yes.
or Scott Mance because it's been so long since we've seen them. I think people would have gotten really excited to see them. But, Bonnie put on an entertaining performance.
Yeah.
People really enjoyed it. And just because some of us didn't, it doesn't take if you enjoy it, enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not trying to say, no, you shouldn't like it because I didn't.
Yeah.
That's me.
It's just for me from coming from a player standpoint and from like looking at if I was a manager, I'd be like, why did we put that player in for? And like because so much emphasis is put on teams this year and getting points and getting up in the standings because we said it before. This tournament can take you from last place to contending for first place with the way the points are. Because look at the Quirky Mercs. We'll get into the next episode of how big these tournaments and these next couple matches are. So and with JTE, he doesn't live in the area anymore, so it was hard for him to play. Now it's like, hey, we're living in a digital era right now.
Yeah.
It's easy for you to just jump on in front of a camera like, all right, we only need like an hour of your time. And just, whatever. And I know it's like there's more hours dedicated to study and stuff, but JT's proven that he can compete. And he probably would have put up, and even if you put JT and Mance, you don't get a play-in with those guys.
No.
Their records, you get them straight into the first round.
I would think so.
So for me, it was just a really peculiar move to put Bonnie in this situation and not put in other people that can contend in this tournament.
Yeah. But who knows?
Yeah.
It seemed like she was having fun at some points.
Yeah.
I hope she had fun.
It looked like she was having fun. But
yeah. So, but Marisol, I really enjoyed her
energy.
I really liked her just,
demeanor and how calm. She was just the entire match.
Calm.
Nothing shook her.
Like, I don't know. She almost, it was just this like calm, quiet, like assassin type thing, And I am really excited to see her next matchup. I want to say she goes up against Paul Oyama next. Yeah. Which is going to be.
That's going to be a test, yeah.
Her. I think it's going to be her first true test.
Yeah, because.
Because you're going up against Paul Oyama now. He's a former champion. And obviously he knows what he's doing. So, going from a play-in match to
around like the actual tournament match.
And even if it wasn't her going against Bonnie, I'd probably be saying the same thing about whoever she faced in a play-in. Because, I mean, granted, Bonnie's not a rookie.
Yeah.
But had she gone against another rookie, two rookies going against each other, if your next person is a former champ, that's your first real test.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be really interested to see what she can do against Paul.
Because she had a very very impressive play match, but to play devil's advocate, it's like Bonnie's not the strongest competitor.
Yeah.
You didn't have she went to multiple choice twice in the second round. Didn't have to answer a 3 and a 5, and the 3 and the 5 was your real test in the third round.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how far she gets into this match, how far she takes Paul Oyama, which and based off of this match, I think she's got a fair shot at it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And with this, Corruption now has all 4 of their people in the tournament are solid contenders now.
So what do we got? We got Adam Collins. We got Marisol McKee. We got
Chance Ellison and Mike Kalinowski. Like Corruption looks really dangerous now, and they're already at the top of the leaderboard. So now it's going to be everybody trying to play catch up with them. So, but as far as other factions go, it's like now, who is that? Drugs are down 1. Who is Swag is down a competitor, and who was in the other plan?
I don't remember.
We just talked about it.
The dungeon.
The dungeon not looking good.
Yeah.
It's very hard to argue for the dungeon right now.
The dungeon now has Vinny Mancuso,
Yeah.
Eric Zipper, and Video Drew. So, yeah. So if Corruption can't pull a couple matches out of this tournament, they have the teams tournament, and I don't know if that's enough to get you up to the top because they're heavy in geekdom.
They're heavy in geekdom, and they're very close to the bottom of the leaderboard at this moment. So, that's just, we said it last week. It's rough for the dungeon because like you were betting everything on for Parker to win that tournament and for Smets to defend the title.
Yeah.
And neither of those things happened.
But sometimes you gamble and you don't win.
Yeah. Big.
So.
You go big or go home, and
I give the man respect for
absolutely.
having the nards to do it, because I wouldn't.
Is nards PG-13? I think we're sure nards. Nards is good to be friend.
I think it's fine. I know I wouldn't have the stones.
Oh yeah, that's better. Thank you.
To put all my eggs in one basket. I'd be diversified. You know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of divisions, and I'd like to spread the wealth.
Yeah.
But he took a gamble, it didn't work. Yeah. So, but who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? We've seen stranger things happen in the Schmoedown. So whatever. Who knows? The dungeon might win this thing.
Yeah. So, but the Droogs still have Whitney Seibold. They still have Alonso Duralde, and we still have Jader. Jader, I think, is speaking as somebody that went from becoming being a fan first and then becoming a competitor. You work twice as hard because I've watched this for so long. I want to prove that I belong here. I want to prove that I can compete and win in this league.
Yeah.
So for all we know, he's just like, oh well, I'm gonna work twice as hard as I should have been.
Yeah, I got this opportunity. I really don't want to let it go.
Yeah, and especially now that you don't have to fly out to LA, you can just play from the comfort of your own home.
Exactly.
That's great for everybody.
Yeah.
So next week.
Whoa. There's so much going on next week.
So much going on next week.
So looking at the Schmoedown website. So next week, Monday the 17th, we got Lon Harris of Swag taking on Sabina Graves. Then we got Tuesday the 18th, we got Paul Preston taking on Eric Zipper.
Nice.
Then Wednesday the 19th, Vinny Mancuso, Sabrina Ramirez, or Jen Kemp. Okay. But then also on Wednesday the 19th, we've got Jada Paramo versus Jim Vejvoda.
Yes.
So that's fun. 2 matches in a day.
Yeah.
And then Thursday the 20th, it keeps going. We got Brendan Meyer versus Alonso Duralde.
Oof.
And then, oh my God, as
Friday.
if my heart can even take this much more throwdowns, but also please, yes.
Yeah.
So Friday the 21st, as long as you're, buying the live stream or a patron.
If you're a patron.
$10
to your Patreon. Patreon.com/the Schmoedown.
No, I thought he said it was just Schmoedown, and everybody's been saying the Schmoedown.
Look up
both.
You'll find it.
Just
go to the YouTube channel. They have a link.
Because I thought I remember Christian saying something about, on backstage, these guys have been saying the Schmoedown the whole time. It's just Schmoedown. I don't know. Maybe I
go to the SCN.
It might have been a fever dream. I don't know.
YouTube channel, and there's a link in the description.
So Friday, August 21st. First, we have another throwdown, right?
Yes.
Or is it? Yeah, it's a throwdown.
It's a throwdown.
Yeah.
Live event.
So we've got undercard. Who's the boss versus Shazam or Final Exam? We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. So again, you're getting 2 episodes this week. So this one will be airing on the Monday, and then tomorrow, Tuesday, will be another episode. We'll be going over the throwdown for that one.
So undercard. Who's the boss versus Shazam or Final Exam? We'll find out who. And then the main event is the team's title match between Founding Fathers and Corruption. Founding Fathers, Corruption, 4. This is the 4th time. This is a fun rivalry. If you haven't been following this rivalry, where have you been? Strap on your pants, ladies and gentlemen.
So we'll get into this round tomorrow. So let's go back over those matches, the plans, except for the last plan. Because now we're getting into actual tournament matches because we only have 1 plan left.
And that last plan, wrong album. Wrong picture in the album.
Yeah, so that last one is in the top bracket.
Yes. Yeah, that happens this week. So it's Jen Kemp or Sabrina Ramirez versus Vinny Mancuso.
Yeah, and we can't talk about that without spoiling the throwdown. So we'll talk about that match tomorrow. So let's get to the other matches that are next week.
What with predictions and stuff?
Yeah, we'll just give our thoughts because we stopped giving predictions Because every time we pick somebody, they lose.
Yeah.
So we're not doing that anymore.
No thanks. So yeah, we got Lon Harris, Sabina Graves. Lon Harris, obviously we've been seeing a lot of him lately.
Oh yeah, he's been on a hot streak. Swagger's been on a hot streak. So
and Sabina, I don't know. She's competed before, right?
Has she?
I don't know.
The name sounds familiar.
I mean, I feel like if she hadn't competed before, she probably would be in a play.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true.
So she's probably not a rookie.
I think.
So
yeah.
But the fact that we don't remember just shows that we probably haven't seen her in a bit.
Yeah, it's been a
so
while.
We'll see how that goes. You can't count anybody out. Just because we've seen Lon doesn't mean Sabina's not going to come to play.
Yeah, but Lon, you said you can't get enough of Lon Harris.
Love Lon.
Lon's character
My God.
is genius, and we'll get more into what he was doing and the shenanigans he was pulling.
Love Lon so
on
much.
tomorrow's episode.
He's a treasure also.
Yeah.
Then we got Paul Preston versus Eric Zipper.
So I am excited for this match because Paul Preston is one of my favorite competitors.
Yeah.
I really hope he does gets back to his old shtick with the answer is George Lucas. It's like
Didn't ask a question.
Didn't ask a question. All right.
Oh, okay.
And I would almost say that the dungeon is banking on Eric Zipper right now because he's the name the one name in this tournament from the dungeon that can get you points at this point. That's almost not guaranteed points, but has a shot at getting you points.
Yeah.
But it's going against Paul Preston. Yeah. And Paul Preston he
a
came
beast.
real close last season, and he is fantastic.
It's been a minute since we've seen him, but I mean,
man.
he's a force to be reckoned with.
And he's so funny.
He's
He's so funny.
He's hilarious. And then we got Vinny Mancuso versus either Sabrina Ramirez or Jen Kemp.
We'll get into that tomorrow.
Sure.
Because we can't spoil things.
Jada Paramo, Jim Vejvoda.
Jada Paramo has one win.
Yeah.
And he was the one that won that Orlando event that
So
we were
like
there for.
2 matches, but only one on the books, you know?
Yeah.
So he's got 2 wins if you want to, but officially only one.
Officially only one.
And Vejvoda, he's been around. He's done this a couple times. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see.
One. And I would like for Jada to perform in this one because, again, someone as first being a fan and then being able to perform in the Schmoedown is just like it's every time I've competed, I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this right now.
Yeah. Just
because obviously you know how serious I am during my matches, but like in the back of my head, it's like
I'm talking to Christian right now and Mark Ellis. Oh my god!
It's like I can't believe I'm doing this. This is unreal to me. But yeah, so God,
pretty cool.
Can you believe we went from having like 1 match a week? Like, God, are we even have any matches to like? Oh my God, we have so much.
We have too much to talk about.
Too much to talk about. We got to split our episodes up.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have.
Brendan Meyer versus Alonzo Duralde. Ooh, boy, that's gonna be a good one. Because Brendan Meyer, he is a little spitfire.
Oh, I love his energy.
Yeah,
he's another one of my favorite competitors. Because
I have so much fun watching him.
Oh man, and when we were sitting behind him during my last studio match.
Yeah.
Oh my, he's so much fun to talk to. He's such a great energy, and we talked to him again at the draft, and it was just he's such a great person, and
he's just like such a bright personality. He's so impossibly nice.
Yeah,
like when he came and sat down, it was after Andrew's match.
Yeah, it was because we were the first one
in the studio.
Yeah,
and he came down and he sat in front of us. I think me specifically, and he was sitting next to somebody else, and they were like, typing the answers to the questions, playing along with each other, and like showing them to each other. And I'm like, damn, boy. And then he he turned around a time or two, and he's like, can you see okay? Like, I'm not blocking you. Are you okay? Do you need me to move? I'm like, you're okay, Brendan. Nice to meet you. Big fan. And then afterward, we, got to kind of mingle around. And then after the draft, we went to the Saddle Ranch and everything.
And he was standing there. We're at the bar. We had our stuff. And he's standing there with his plate of chicken, just tenders. Just I'm like, you could put your plate down here. It's like, oh, you sure? I don't want to post like, dude, you're standing there like and you look like you're struggling. You're trying. You have your drink in your other hand, and like he's holding his drink like this and trying to like just put your plate down. Just put your plate down.
Nice. Oh my God.
I really wish we can talk. And he was one of our first guests.
Yeah.
On the show way back when.
Yeah, him and Mr. Bibiani.
We had Shazam on the same time. We had to get Roka on first because we never heard the end of it if we had Shazam on first before Roka.
Yeah, oh yeah. But yeah, no, Brendan's
super cool.
Fantastic.
But I'm excited to see because again, we're getting his match tomorrow with Shazam, but like his energy in these matches it's infectious.
It is. That's a good word.
And just like seeing him in the buzz around. I want like I've said it before. I just want to see an entire buzz around match of Brendan.
Just Brendan against himself.
He's trying to resuscitate the buzzer. It's like, dude, you're gonna break it.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, him versus Alonso Duralde. I mean,
that's
two,
big heavy hitters.
people I'd never want to be sitting across from on the,
Yeah, this is almost to like my first round match with against Scrimshaw. It's like, oof, this is gonna be
no thanks.
you know this is gonna be a good one.
Oh yeah.
So.
And then we got the throwdown.
Yeah.
We got who's the boss, and we'll talk about.
We'll talk about that one tomorrow, and we'll get to.
When we get to Final Exam versus Shazam, we'll get to that.
We can, and we'll also get the other play-in tomorrow too. So, with that, I think we'll go ahead and end this episode of Beyond Schmoedown here. Nicki Dimalanta, where can they find you online?
Twitter. Twitter. I'm gonna say Twitter.
Oh. Wait, where?
Twitter.
Twitter?
Yes.
The tweets?
And then you could find me on Twitter with Dimmy. DIMMM. Why?
Covering up your own face on
Have
that
fun
one.
with that in post.
As for me, you can follow me on Twitter and Twitch at Drew Dimalanta, DIMALANTA. For watch this on YouTube, what do they do?
Oh, if you want to watch this on YouTube, you go to YouTube.
No, if you're watching this on YouTube, what do they do?
Oh, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications when we do things.
Trying to get you to these plugs. If you're listening to this on audio form, head over to Apple Podcasts, rate our show, please, Beyond the Schmoedown podcast feed. And if you want to support this show and our other weekly show and the channel as well, with other than just liking and subscribing, head on over to patreon.com/Andrew and Nikki, become a member of the squadron. We didn't have any squadron captains chime in today, but hopefully tomorrow we'll get some. But yeah, become a member of the squadron. Speaking of our squadron captain, thank you to Timur Butta, Ferris Mathana, Josh Estes, and Bidor, our squadron captains. Thank you so much for your continued support. Anything else? Oh, and I don't want to. I said this on our last Going Rogue. If we're trying to get to 50 patrons, once we get to 50 patrons, we're starting another podcast, another short form one, 30 to 45 minutes long, of just talking about anything,
Everything and nothing,
all at the same time.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll ask you guys what the show should be called once we hit the 50 mark.
Yeah. Who knows? It'll be fun.
It will be fun. But with that, we'll end this episode of Beyond Schmoedown up. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.